Polestar, an electric vehicle startup, debuted its first Superbowl commercial, taking aim at competitors such as Tesla Incorporated and the Volkswagen Group. Let's find out what really happened. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel Elon Musk World, where we tell you all the latest news about Elon Musk and his multi-billion-dollar companies. In today's video, we are going to tell you about the Swedish automaker, which is backed by China's Zhejiang Holding Group and Volvo Cars Group, has released a 30-second commercial for its Polestar 2 electric sedan titled No Compromises. The commercial revolves around a strategy that the automaker claims sets it apart from competitors. Polestar promises no dieselgate and no conquering Mars, without naming anyone, a clear reference to Volkswagen's infamous dieselgate scandal and Tesla CEO Elon Musk's dreams of colonizing Mars. This is the perfect place to further raise awareness of our brand in the US and beyond. Polestar CEO Thomas Ingenlath made a statement. Polestar paid $7 million to play the ad at the mega sporting event, according to a Tesla fan on Twitter, and used a bold strategy to poke fun at rivals, including the world's richest man. Musk responded with a laughing emoticon to the post. So, why does this matter? Polestar was founded in 2017 and manufactures its products in China. Last month, the electric vehicle startup announced that it had met its global sales goal of 29,000 vehicles delivered in 2021. Last year, the company, which is seen as a Tesla competitor, announced plans to release 3 new cars over the next 3 years, including an electric sports utility vehicle. There are accusations we've heard leveled at a number of automakers recently, as they tout their EV ambitions. Though bold goals are common, such as a fully electric new car range by 2030, the strategy to actually achieve them is often a little more shaky. In terms of what Polestar is all about, there's only one model on the market right now, but there's plenty more on the way. The Polestar 2, which recently became available in a single-motor version that is even more affordable, will be followed by the Polestar 3, an SUV, in the near future. That will be revealed in 2022. The Polestar has already stated that it will be built in the United States rather than in China. Meanwhile, the Polestar 4 is expected to be a high-end crossover in the SUV coupe style, with the automaker hoping to compete with big-ticket items like the Porsche Macan. However, the Polestar 5 is the one that has piqued our interest the most. The company has promised to carry over the vast majority of those alluring styling cues, as well as the innovative palette of non-traditional luxury materials, based on the shapely Percept concept. When the Polestar 5 arrives in 2024, it would be the EV to watch in the high-end segment. In October, the automaker issued a recall for all of its Polestar 2 electric vehicles, which were marketed as a competitor to Tesla's Model 3 due to a software flaw that could cause the vehicle to lose power while driving. Polestar announced earlier this year that it would build a third model at a Volvo plant in South Carolina. After a merger with SPAC Gores Guggenheim, the startup is expected to debut on the Nasdaq sometime this year. Polestar's sales are 30 times lower than Tesla's, and its cars are also more expensive, owing to the fact that Polestars are imported from China. However, for the time being, only the Polestar 2 is available, with the Polestar 1, a luxury plug-in hybrid based on a Volvo concept, being produced in extremely limited numbers until 2021. The Polestar 2 can't match the range of Tesla's Model 3 on a range-to-cost basis. That isn't to say that the EV isn't lacking in some areas. For example, the cabin is far more Volvo than you might expect. The Polestar 2 interior, thanks to a shared parts bin, feels more like a traditional vehicle than the Model 3's love-it-or-hate-it aesthetic. It was also the first vehicle to run Google's Android Automotive OS, which is a dashboard OS with built-in Google Assistant and Google Maps. Despite Polestar's ambitions, the reality is that the company still has a long way to go to catch up to Tesla. Polestar sold 29,000 cars worldwide in 2021, which is good for an EV startup, but still leaves it as a niche player. However, this is a far cry from Tesla's global sales of 936,000 units. To boost those figures in the coming year, the automaker plans to launch in a number of new markets, including Spain, Portugal, the United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, and Israel in 2022 alone, as part of a goal to reach at least 30 global markets by the end of 2023. Polestar is a joint venture between Volvo Cars of Sweden and Zhejiang Geely Holding, China's third-largest automaker by sales. Although because Geely also owns Volvo, calling it a joint venture as Polestar does is a little misleading. In 2010, Geely, which is privately owned by businessman Li Shufu, paid $1.8 billion for Volvo, making it the largest foreign acquisition by a Chinese automaker at the time. While Geely continues to maintain Volvo's manufacturing facilities in Europe and the United States, the Polestar brand is produced in China, at Geely's plant in the Sichuan province, southwest China. Polestar's Chinese origins make it difficult for a brand to compete on price with Tesla in the United States, as its vehicles are subject to a 27% import tax as a result of a Trump-era trade tariff. A Polestar 2 costs around $60,000 in the US, while a fully loaded Tesla Model 3 costs around $54,000. Polestar hopes to start producing an SUV at Volvo's US manufacturing facility next year, which will help the company cut costs and potentially boost sales. Polestar is preparing to list on the Nasdaq through an SPAC merger, which the company completed last September and valued at $20 billion. After its debut in the second half of this year, Polestar will join a number of its Chinese competitors trading on US exchanges. Xpeng, based in Guangzhou, raised $1.5 billion in an IPO on the New York Stock Exchange last August, just weeks after Li Auto, based in Beijing, raised $1.1 billion on the Nasdaq. The two EV manufacturers trailed Shanghai-based NIO, which made its NYCE debut in 2018 with $1 billion IPO. Polestar, unlike its Chinese competitors, may be able to avoid the scrutiny that Washington has recently heaped on Chinese listings. Congress passed a bill in December 2020 allowing the Securities and Exchange Commission to delist Chinese companies that do not follow the regulator's auditing procedures. Beijing frequently denies the SEC access to Chinese company audit documents, citing national security concerns. According to the new U.S. law, any Chinese company that fails to provide the SEC with audit documents within 3 years will be delisted from U.S. markets. Despite its Chinese ownership, Polestar is based in Sweden, which means SEC auditors may have easier access to audit documents than if the company were based in China. This would help the group's long-term prospects in the United States. Polestar isn't a household name in the world of electric vehicles, but Volvo and Geely's partnership would like to be. The electric vehicle manufacturer forgoes melodrama in favor of distinctly minimalistic flavor for its first Superbowl commercial. Still, that doesn't rule out a little snark directed at Tesla and some of its other competitors. The big question is whether commercials like this will help Polestar achieve its goals, while those in the know about the state of electric vehicles and the big names and bigger personalities that entails will pick up on the Elon Musk snark and other references. Everyday drivers may be perplexed by the Polestar strategy. That's a shame, because the Polestar 2 has one clear advantage right now: availability, even if the range numbers don't put it at the top of the EV chart. Polestar has new vehicles in stock across the US and a no-haggle pricing policy that avoids the excruciating market adjustments we've seen rival dealers use to add thousands of dollars to the sticker price of new cars. And this was it for today, guys. What are your thoughts? Tell us in the comments section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And thank you for watching.